Whether you're watching, listening or reading this, welcome back to the Runpreneur vlog, where we're on a mission to raise £1 million for children's charities by run vlogging on consecutive days the distance of one lap around the world. It's a staggering 40,075 kilometres. It's going to take between 14 and 15 years to accomplish, so plenty of time to raise that money. I'm going to run a minimum of 5 kilometres every day, and I'm even going to do it barefoot style. So it's those regulars will know that I vlog about my passions, which are entrepreneurship and running. And it is a beautiful morning today, about 3-4 degrees, not too breezy, the sun's out, so great running conditions. And it's Friday Funnels today, where we talk about all things sales, funnels and marketing. And today's topic is don't chase the cash. Make sure your passion and purpose are what drives you forward, and the money will follow. So as always, if you like this episode, give it a like and a subscribe, and let's get started. So, don't follow the cash. It's easier said than done. I've spent most of my entrepreneurial journey following the cash, and it's only relatively recently that my mindset has kind of shifted and my belief in what I'm trying to do has changed, that it becomes focused on non-monetary gain. And it's a hard one to kind of implement, pure and simply because most entrepreneurs or business owners are has to be financially viable. This is how you live. So you've got to have a certain amount of income. So there is a little caveat to this. You have to cover your kind of necessities before you can take on this bigger picture. So usually the first part of starting a business, you need to get your necessities covered and get some stability. But when you start looking at scaling and growth, it should be led by your passion and purpose and not by chasing the next shiny penny. So how's this kind of happened for me? Well, it's originally, like I say, I'm very entrepreneurial. I have, I think, 6 different companies at the moment that are in various stages, some very established, some within the first year, others that are formed but yet to be launched. So all different spectrums in terms of where we are in the journey. And yeah, the new ones are quite focused on, right, let's just cover our costs. Let's just get to cover our costs. So we are looking at the monetary aspect of it. But the one that's changed kind of everything for me is my mission, this challenge I'm on, to raise £1 million for children's charities. Now, yes, it is monetary focused, but my mission is to raise the awareness of some of the global issues affecting our children in a multitude of ways. And I'm doing that by selecting 6 very different charities that do very different things, but all help tackle major issues affecting our children in different ways. So I'm on a storytelling journey to try and tell people about this stuff and for people to kind of understand it, and hope that if I'm serving my passion and purpose by going on this journey to kind of help as many children as possible, maybe a few of you want to join me on it and will join me on the journey, maybe from a fundraising or sponsorship perspective, but maybe you just want to get involved in the journey and be a part of the movement. And that could be just coming for a run with me, telling your story, saying things that inspire you to try and make a difference to our children, because I'm adamant that my children are going to have it tougher than I've had it. I believe I had it tougher than my parents had it, and I believe that my children's children will have it tougher than them. The world is changing, the opportunities are there, but often children need more of a leg up. And I'm not talking about, these are the fortunate children I'm talking about. That's not including the ones that are tackling poverty, vulnerability, disability, health, exploitation, slavery, orphanage. There's so many various different abuse, of course, don't forget abuse. It's just the raft of issues are everywhere. And if I can raise £1 million, that's a tiny amount of money in the grand scheme of things, but a massive amount for a single person who's building a team to kind of serve. And the idea will be that £1 million is so challenging to reach, but the idea is that if I get enough traction to get there, hopefully we'll go a lot further and raise more money and actually make a significant difference and be able to document the life-changing impact we've had on children around the world, individual children, groups of children, you know, and that's what my passion and purpose is. I'm still super passionate about business. I love business and it's like a game to me and I enjoy it, but this is my passion and purpose. It's very, very different. Business is almost like a hobby, and well, a hobby that I really enjoy winning at whenever I can. But I'm at a stage now where I don't have to chase the next shiny penny, and I can actually focus more of my attention on what drives me forward, what gets me up in the morning. It's not how many pounds hit my bank account. Don't get me wrong, I love it, but it's the thought of making a difference to people where it truly matters. A pound in my bank account will either be invested, and generally that's what normally happens, I'm a hoarder, it'll be invested in it might grow my net worth, which is very important to me and my children's legacy. However, helping the masses on a bigger scale is more important to me, so I'm more passionate about this than I am getting the next pound in my bank account. And I have investments in place and assets in my portfolio that will hopefully give my kids a good start in life. So as far as that milestone is concerned, I'm well on the right track for that. So that's what allows me to focus on my passion and, you know, my purpose. And hopefully people understand. And if you've noticed, obviously we talk about £1 million, but that's just a barometer for how I will measure the success of this mission. Okay, it's not the be all and end all, because if we get a big following, we increase awareness of the charities that I'm representing, then there are other non-monetary ways where people will benefit. If I can get stories about key children that these charities have made a life-changing difference to them heard, then again, that's a bigger mission, that's a bigger achievement than just the money. But unfortunately, we do live in a world where the money will make a tangible difference, and that's where we're focusing on raising as much of it as possible. But the bigger issue is making people aware of what's going on in the world and looking at ways in which they can help. For example, I could raise £1 million, or I could raise the awareness to 1 million people. If I raise the awareness to 1 million people and, you know, half of them, you know, donated a £5, you know, I'm significantly impacting things more than just raising the money for myself or for my own cause. So it's raising that awareness and getting people to support these charities and others. It doesn't have to be just the ones that I'm promoting. I'm promoting the ones I've chosen because they cover a wide spectrum of global issues affecting kids and children. But you know, if everybody supports children's charities, and even if it's a pound a month or a pound a year, you think if everybody had that mindset, we could abolish so many issues that children face in the world today. And that's the true mission. But you have to start somewhere, and you have to be more realistic. To raise £1 million seems incredibly far-fetched, but it's far more realistic to me at this moment in time than turning the heads of tens of millions of people. But that will be the next step on the ladder. So that's where I'm going with this, and I hope you can see from the passion that I'm showing when I talk about it. You can always tell someone's passion that when they talk about something, they're just so enthusiastic naturally. If it's like, oh, started a new business today, selling widgets or whatever, you know, don't get me wrong, I love that, so I'd be a bit more passionate about that. But I'm not as excited about that as I'm about making a difference to people that really matter. So hopefully this episode kind of hits home and makes you realise that, you know what, if you don't chase the shiny pennies and you make it more about your passion and your purpose, that money will come. And it's almost a byproduct of how strongly you feel about your passion and your purpose. And if you take that approach, trust it, it's really hard to begin with because it's always money. But if you take that approach, see the difference, see what happens, see what changes. So, hope that's useful. As always, if you've got any questions, just drop me a message. I'll respond to everyone. Do check out the links and my social channels where you can watch, listen or read my content, all catalogued nice and neatly by topic, so it should be easy to navigate and find what you're looking for. But most importantly, stay up to date on my journey, on my challenge to raise £1 million for children's charities by doing this run vlogging on consecutive day challenge. So please do follow and support it, share it as much as you can, it'd be hugely appreciated. And all that's left to say is that the content I talk about is always geared around helping people, okay, helping people overcome the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety by using exercise, in my case running, as a release mechanism to relieve and clear your head of those daily, weekly pressures in the form of stress, process what's going on, gain clarity, refocus and move on. If you don't have that mechanism and that process in place, it's like pressure that builds in a pipe, and that pressure in the form of stress will build and build and build. It will turn to overwhelm, where you've got too many things going on in your head and you almost seize up and freeze, procrastinate because there's just too much going on. And then it switches to panic and anxiety, and you get to that stage, it's into the realms of mental health challenges, and clearly we want to avoid that at all costs. Now, I've been there. I've lost businesses because of this. I've lost business partners because of this, and I've almost been bankrupt because of this. So I know what it's like, and I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. And there's no coincidence in the last 10 months of doing this running vlog, which is my release mechanism, I've made more progress than I have in the previous 4 years. So hopefully there's enough social proof to show this stuff works. And my pledge to you is, if you are someone who's struggling with this stuff, drop me a message, okay? There's no catch here. There's no sale. We'll jump on a call. I'll give you some step-by-step advice that has made a revolutionary difference to me that I know is transferable to you. And we'll get you back on the right path. Now, many have taken me up on this, and I know we've made a massive difference to many people's lives. And I'll continue to try and do that wherever I can. And I said that help is often free. You just have to be prepared to ask for it. And it's normally easier asking a stranger than nearest and dearest. So do take me up on this, and don't miss out. So that's it for me today. As always, if you like this episode, give it a like, comment and a subscribe. And all that's left to say is stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you tomorrow.